So I wanted to give you a little bit of information about why I choose to use crates when it comes to transitioning a racing greyhound from their race life to their pet life. It's important to understand what they've been used to and exposed to in their racing life. Whether you are pro or anti-racing, it doesn't matter. It's good to know what they've come from in order to help them transition into a more comfortable and relaxed environment. So with greyhounds, they are used to being in crates or kennels. So when they are just chilling out during the day, they're in a kennel, which is a smaller enclosed area. When they go to the racetrack, they're actually put into a crate. Okay, before their race, they go into the vet check room, they get checked, they get put into a crate. When they are traveling, they potentially could be either in the back of a station wagon type of vehicle, or they may be in a dog trailer, which is essentially, again, a small crate. So they have been exposed to crates and small confined areas for a large part of their life. So this is quite familiar to them. So I choose to use a crate when foster dogs first come to me because it gives them a feeling of familiar. Okay, yes, it's in a brand new environment, it's a brand new house, it's in a house, we've got noises, we've got TV, we've got radio, we've got people, there might be kids, there's car noises. So the actual noise and the surrounds are different, but the crate is something that is familiar to the greyhound. So that is why I choose to use a crate for helping transition and settle foster dogs in. So the first couple of days, generally the first 2 to 3 days, they will spend the majority of their time in the crate, and we'll bring them out multiple times for toileting, for exploring the yard, exploring the house. But if they're not in the crate, they're going to be on a lead. Okay, so it gives me a bit of control over our hound to make sure that they get an ability to explore and an ability to get an understanding of the house and the yard without getting too stressed and without allowing their energy levels to get too high. Now, the reason that I talk about that is because Rocky over there behind me literally had his desexing operation yesterday. If I was to let him just be and just have full reign of the house and the yard, he is more likely going to decide to try and do a zoomie and a run and jump. Right? So which is just not good for his operation. Okay? So it helps also with his recovery. And we are very lucky with greyhounds that the majority of them are more than happy to go into a crate. When we got home yesterday from the vets, he was a little bit doped up. I tossed one piece of food into the crate. He walked straight in. I closed the door and he just lay down. Okay? And he's been slept in that all night without an issue. He curled himself up and he had a very peaceful night's sleep. So using a crate is not a bad thing. It is something that can help give them an understanding of what's required in the household as well. The other reason that I like using a crate, because in these change of circumstances with greyhounds, they can get stressed by too much choice and too much freedom. So you got to remember, we have picked them up from a life that they have known. So Rocky's nearly 2, so he's had 2 full years of being in a kennel environment, and then we've thrown him into a home environment. So the crate is something that allows him to relax and chill out and take in the surroundings and take in and see and hear and smell the environment. Okay, he gets to understand the routine. He gets to understand what we are all about, and he gets to understand the sounds of the home and the neighborhood. This just gives him an opportunity to relax a little bit, take in the environment before we start to give him some freedom of choice. So if you are looking at either fostering a new greyhound straight from the track, I highly recommend investing in a crate that is large enough for the greyhound to turn around and sleep in, like Rocky over there, and make sure that you give them the opportunity to relax and chill out and understand the environment before you throw them in the deep end with taking them for walks and things like that. Let them get to know their neighborhood from the safety of a crate first before you expose them to everything. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that Rocky's always in the crate. Okay. He will have time outside of the crate. During the nighttime, obviously, that's where he sleeps. During the day, I actually have a small enclosure put together now for him, and that enclosure allows him some space to be outside and to be free roaming, but it's a smaller area to mimic the kennel environment that he had, and it allows him to explore and go to the toilet and just sleep without the ability to get completely excited and go running up and down the fence line or around the backyard while he's recovering from his operation. Okay, but even if he hadn't had his operation and he was due to go in a couple of days, I would still go through this same process. Okay, it just gives him something that's familiar, that he understands and he knows, and as you can see, he's quite comfortable in there, and there's been no protest at all for him going in, and there's been no protest at all for him of just lying down and chilling out, right? It's a very stressful time when they come from racing to pet life. Giving them something to help them relax and to show them that it's time to just sleep is the best option.